Right, can we start with the salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraja. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good to see you all. Yeah, it is good to be back. Actually, awesome. Can we start with Quran? Ali, please. Jazakumullah. Can we have a salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraja. Right, just a general introduction. We sent out on the WhatsApp groups, you've got the suggested cross-curricular stuff. You've got learning outcomes. I think, let's see what you've got on your table. You've got a learning outcome sheet. You've got the focus of each surah down there, right? You've got schemes of work and lesson plans for the calendar. And what you also have is schemes of work and lesson plans for fiqh. These are all there. It's not that they're not there. You've also got this, as in the names of Allah. You haven't got them? I think there's a bookmark up here. And you should have 2 templates, lesson planning templates, cross-curricular in Quran City. If you don't have anything, please come and pick it up from the resources over here, okay? So the first thing we're going to look at is the calendar. I know I haven't put it as an I put it on the introduction. Are you all right with this calendar? So you've got 13 teaching weeks. The last day, we're going to have a party because it is the wiladat of Sayyidah Fatima. I sent that to you as well, by the way. Yeah? So you're all right with this? You've gone through it? It's actually 13 straight teaching weeks. So there's a lot that can be done. It's probably one of the longest terms we have. It's really cool. Okay. Timing, you all know. You're good with it? You've got assembly, Quran recitation, Quran appreciation, break, cross-curricular, and salah. And Amina tells me after... When did we start, Amina? 1990, didn't we? Yeah. So after 35 years, she tells me she wants to go home early. Please convince her, okay? Yeah. Nobody retires here, okay? No, I remember Marhum Ulaskar when I told him I need to retire many, many years ago. He said the day they carry the body out, that's when you retire. Okay, so as long as all of you are listening, Amina wants to leave because she wants to cook. Okay? All right, there you go. Right, let's go over your cross-curricular. Before we go on to this, the teachers, let's see if you're happy with where you are. Now, Sukaina has called all of you, and you've gone through the procedures, rather. So preschool, Zaida and Shaida, I can't see both of them, but Zaida has written that she's stuck in really... you can see Shaida. Shaida, you got it. Zaida is stuck in traffic. Are you all right with this? You have 16 young people in preschool, and I'm sure... Okay, so you will work this out. Good luck. Reception. Rubab's here, I think. Yes, I saw her. There you go. I know Fatim Ladak's not here, but you have 11, and you should be all right. Are you okay with reception? I know Sukina's called all of you, so I don't have to. Oh, 17, yeah. I forgot the new students. Yeah, okay. Abrar? You okay? You're good. Okay. Sabrina said she was going to be late. Zainab, are you here? Oh, there you are. I thought I saw you. Are you okay with this? Yeah? Okay. Amina here? Not yet. Oh, she's stuck in traffic. Okay. Shabniz, you okay? There you go. You're okay. All right. Lelaba, you're okay with Shabniz. Amina, you're okay with Shabniz. Just say yes. Incidentally, she helped start this, okay? So I don't know what she's complaining about. You're all right, Sajida, with year 6. Allegedly, you're going to bring them up. Sabiha, you've got year 7, yes? Okay. It's a small group. It's not that difficult. Did I forget year 5? The Shaida, yes. Yeah, you've got. And Fatima. You're with Shaida, yeah? Okay. Year 8, Yasmin, you got year 8 and 9. You're going to take them together, right? Okay. And year 10 over have got multiple speakers. So if you are free between 12 and 1, let me tell you what we have. On the 20th of September, we have Shena Somji. She will be showing Ghusl. On the Ghusl Mayat. On the 27th of September, we have Mansoura, who will come and talk about matchmaking. On the 11th, we've got Amina, who will talk about life and work challenges. I need to get you in as well. On the 18th, Shanaz will come again and talk about kafan. Taslim Giga will talk about death to burial. Ruby Kaki will come and talk about dementia on the 1st of November. 8th and 15th, Maliha Nazrali will show you calligraphy, different types of calligraphy. And we can put her in later on as well. And Sadika will come on the 22nd of November to talk about life. And one of the sessions, Sajida has agreed, and maybe I'll take her girls, and she has agreed to come and talk about life works. And if any of you want any of these sessions with the adults, please come in. Because sometimes it's nice for you to talk about what you have done in your life, and it'll be a lesson to them. It'll help them. You good? Masma, what about you? Been a volunteer for years. Okay, these are just suggestions I'm trying to make that might help. Fardeen, I haven't gone into your section for the boys, because I'm presuming you're going to sort that out. Are you all right with that? I've just left it there. Yannick seems another city. But you're sorting that out. I know you need a room cleared in the annex. Sajida, I've talked to her. She will talk to you, and maybe we can work through some system. Is that okay? Sajida will come and talk to you, and we'll take it through. Okay. Can you let me know? And we've got a, yeah. So we can put it on the core group, and Abid Bhai is really good. He will sort it all out. And if we have to pay for it, we'll pay for it. So. Okay, so can you let me know, and then I'll put it on, and if we have to pay for it, we'll pay for it. We'll just get it done. Okay. You have in front of you learning outcomes. This is what you told me last September. You know, you changed what we had on learning outcomes. I'd given you post-it notes, you'd written them down, and that's all incorporated in this sheet down here. So I suggest you go through it. Later on, I'll give you some time. We'll go through it and see what you want to do. Are you comfortable with that? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. Okay, cool. Now, in front of you, you've got 2 lesson planning templates. We're going to work on these just now because don't want it to be too boring. Huh? You haven't got this? Learning outcomes, you've got it in your hands. Or you haven't got the templates like this. Fatima, go come back to you. There might be some extras at the back. There's 2. There should be 1 Quran City and 1 cross-curricular. And 1 should be cross-curricular, okay? So we'll make sure you have those. If we go to the cross-curricular SOWs for the time being. Okay, it's all right. They can write it down. Doesn't matter. If you go to the cross-curricular SOW, which is, I'll go through that. So I'd like to go through these. And when I say an SOW, it's a scheme of work. It's a suggested scheme of work for that particular cross-curricular. Can we go to the SOWs? I think it's before that. Okay. All right, so you've got the SOW there. Week 1, that's next week. You've got overview of the life of the Prophet because you've got Miladun Nabi coming up, right? If you look at your cross-curricular lesson plans, those of you who have them, and you can have one in the middle and have a look at it together, you need to know what you want to teach. You can't teach the whole life of the Prophet. On the second week, I've already put TTC, and there's no, this is part of your akhlaq as such. But your TTC it's not either truthful or trustworthy or compassionate. It's all 3 together. But on the first week, what are you going to do? What are you going to teach about him? That's most important. And I think you need to think about it when you write out your lesson plans. Because if you were to tell these children the whole life story, they're going to forget by the time they get home. So if I ask you, and I'm 66, 67 years I've been hearing majalis while I was in my mother's stomach as well, okay? So if somebody asked me about the Prophet, would I be able to articulate it in a little while? What was it that was most important that I want them to know? So one ayah of Quran, maybe لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Indeed, in the Messenger of Allah, you have the most perfect example. Maybe you will look at Sunanun Nabi. Maybe you will look at the resources we've got on the website, and I'll go on to them. Fatim's got them. She's put them on the website. We'll give you the PowerPoint as well. But you need to know what next week you want to tell them that will stay in their heads and will never, ever go. Ever, ever go. I don't know whether you want to dua. It's up to you. That's the autonomy you have. But we need to make this impact. How long did he live? Could you divide his life into 3 sections? Maybe 0 to 40, and then you've got the life in Makkah and then in Medina. I don't know. It's what hits you that will hit them. So my 2 pennies worth, write one of these out, okay? I'm going to make you do one in a minute. Second week, you probably need to look at those 3. Truthfulness, trustworthiness, and compassion. You can change that if you want. These are just suggested schemes of work. The third week, besides having an overview of the life of Imam Sadiq, this concept of being Jafri. And somebody told me the other day when I put it down, that what is this concept of being Jafri? We follow the fiqh of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam. And you'll see in most of the communities around the world, I mean, we have SJ as well, Stanmore Jafris, don't we? All communities of the world will have a little bit of Jafari in it. And why? What fiqh do we follow? Why the books? Which the books? How the books? All the rest of it. Now, if you need any more information, fair enough. But for the children, at least to know that much, that he was an Imam. And why was it Imam Jafar as-Sadiq and not the other Imams? Don't just nod at me. There you go. But the children need to know that. They need to know why we're called Jafri and why we use that with everything we have. I'll try and put something on the WhatsApp group so you have information that you can take out and put on your things, okay? The overview of the life of Imam Hassan al-Askari. We just had his wafat. I think Fatim's got I read a majlis on his wafat which summarizes his life. So maybe you could take bits from there. You could take bits from other books as well. But the main thing that you want to put through here is that Tafsir al-Askari is the tafsir that Imam Askari wrote. And he's made a structure in the writing of tafsir. Tafsir al-Askari, I'll send you a link. But in essence, it is what every alim, every mufassir now bases their tafsir on. So it starts off with the focus, and we've done it with Quran City. You start off with the focus, you start off with the sections of the surah, you go through each ayah, and then you go through each word. And he started that. The other thing that you want the children to also know is that he's known as Askari, because he lived in Askar. So now every mujtahid, the moment you hear their name, you know where they've come from. So you know Khoi comes from Khoi, you know Sistani comes from Sistan, so on and so forth. And you want to encourage them to be Stanmori. I am waiting for the day, even in my grave, to hear an Ayatollah Stanmori whose taqleed we will do. Okay. 11th, I put concept of Nabuwa, which is, we often forget the Tawheed, Adala, Nabuwa, Qiyamah. The Quran has 114 surahs, right? Are you good? Okay. How many focus on Tawheed, Adala, Nabuwa, Qiyamah? The Makki surahs focus basically 86 focus on that. The rest, that little bit 28, focus on the how. But we focus more on the how than the why. So you want to talk to them about it. Adam to Muhammad, the chronological sequence mnemonics. If I asked you just now when we created this bookmark about 4 years ago, about do you know the names of the prophets from Adam to Muhammad in chronological order? Don't look at me. Don't say yes, don't say no, don't say anything. But we have a bookmark. And if you don't know, they won't know. So give the bookmarks out. I think we've got it on the online. We've been giving it out every year. But if you want another one, fair enough. Focus on the du'as of Prophet Ibrahim. Now in Ashra, Sajida did the whole thing on the 11 P's, right? So do you know what the 11 P's are, by the way? We're going to do yeah, please. Let's go through it. And then we'll go through the other one. So Sajida, as you know her, don't you? She can be a bit of a pain. So she comes home and she says, I want this PowerPoint because I'm teaching it. So you'll see it just now, hopefully. Fatima, have you got it at the end? Okay. She's going to put it on just now. Yeah, so this is courtesy of Sajida, okay? So there's 11 P's in the du'as of Prophet Ibrahim. I would actually, with the children, pick out 5. I've picked up 5 here. Because progeny is not important in their life because they don't have any kids yet. Parents is important. People is important. The community is really, really important, right? Prayer is really, really important for them. I've picked those out. So I've put parents, I've put community, and for the self, I've put peace, protection, and prayers. So you could pick out the du'as. If you look at it, she's done one for every single one, and the Asma al-Husna tied to it. Can you see that? So for more information, go to Sajida, and I'm sure she will help you through it. So it's nice for them to know, Rabbi jalni muqima salati wa min dhurriyati rabbana wa taqabbal du'a. It's those du'as that you want to teach them. Okay? You know all these du'as. It's not that you don't. So that's the sort of... Fatim, can we go back to the SOW? Okay, next one. Overview of the light of Sayyidah Zainab. That's the next slide, please. Can you see that? I'll show you the resources in a minute. Concept of majalis. How did it start? What happened? Was it always like this? If somebody does majlis in a different way, a non-khoja way, is it wrong? In the Irani culture, if you go, I don't know whether you've been, they sit in a circle, they have food everywhere, and they just listen. Our culture is different. It doesn't make anybody right or wrong. But what is the concept of majlis? Majlis actually means somewhere to sit down. And then again, Imam Sadiq, all the, everything that you have to do in a majlis, what is right, what is wrong, all the rest of it. Overview of the life of Sayyidah Fatima, which is absolutely phenomenal, because you've got Ayyam Fatimiyya there, right? And then women of the Quran. You can pick any one you want. It's up to you. If you want to pick all of them and do a little bit, do a worksheet, you've got the autonomy to do that. And then finally, 6th of December, we've got the Wiladat of Sayyidah Fatima. I think it's a phenomenal day. Most of the Muslim countries or the Shia countries called it Mother's Day then. And to install it in the life in the children and to get them to make a card for their moms, appreciate their moms, talk about moms, whatever you want to do. And hopefully on the 13th we'll do a celebration. Are you good with that? Are you comfortable? Everything you need will be in these books, in the calendar schemes of work. And everything you do in the PowerPoint, she's put... Fatim, can we go ahead with the PowerPoint? I'll do the templates in a minute. These are templates I need you to work on in a minute. But these are the resources. Can you see them? So you've got PowerPoint resources. Next slide, you've got worksheets, you've got other resources, and she's put it all on there. So what I'd like you to do now, and that's just breaking it up a bit, is take your Quran City template. Have you got it? And I'd like you to fill that in with Surah Al-Fatiha. On the website, Fatim, can we go to Surah Al-Fatiha, the building? On the website, there's all, and Surah Al-Fatiha, nobody here can tell me they don't know Surah Al-Fatiha. So if you fill that in for me, and if you also fill in the cross-curricular one for the du'as of Prophet Ibrahim. Are you good? I'm not giving marks, I'm not checking it, it's just you. I will just go over mine and yours, okay? Just take a piece of paper and fill it in. You've got about, what's the time? It's 11 o'clock, 10 minutes. Seriously, it's 10 minutes it takes you to fill in a lesson plan in. Yes, Surah Al-Fatiha and cross-curricular for schemes of work, the 11 P's of Prophet Ibrahim. If you don't want to do 11 P's, do any other topic you want. We're going to put this PowerPoint on your phones so you can have a look at the 11 P's, okay? I'll ask Fatim to put it on the 11 P's if you want, or you've got Surah Al-Fatiha on there. It's up to you. So those are the resources we have on the website. And on your PowerPoints or on your document that you have on your phone, the download link should work. So you could download it as well. And if, like me, you like a physical copy, let us know and we'll give you a physical copy. Okay? Because I don't like online stuff. I like to actually see something and make notes. Yeah, so it's up to you. So if you want something like that, just ask for it, because that will help much better. Okay? Okay, so your 10 minutes are up. If we look at the lesson planning template for Surah Al-Fatiha, the first thing says surah name and number. Fatim, can we have the template back on again? So you have surah name and number, quite easy. It's surah number 1 and it's Surah Al-Fatiha. At the side, I've put 1587. Anybody know why? Yeah. Surah Al-Hijr, ayah 87. That we have revealed to you the 7 oft-repeated verses. So it was revealed twice. I've just put it Sab'a Mathani. Okay, so Sab'a Mathani, Sab'a is 7, Mathani is twice. So it's a good idea. I mean, it'll stay in their heads that it was something that was revealed twice. Quran City Suburb? Okay. Quran City Suburb? Anybody? Hamidat Crescent, you know there are 5 surahs in it. All of them start with Alhamdulillah. And sometimes it's nice to just go over them. For example, Surah Al-Kahf, surah number 18, starts with Alhamdulillah. But the end of 17, the last ayah says, Kul Alhamdulillah. Say Alhamdulillah. And then 18 will start with Alhamdulillah. One of the things that you will use to say that the arrangement of the Quran by the Prophet was done divinely, rather than on his, it's not chronological. It is, and it's you can bring that topic in. And if you look at the hamd in all these, I would go through the first ayah of each surah with the older ones and say, Allah is saying Alhamdulillah for me and you to say it for various reasons. And it's good to go into it. Okay? All right. Learning objective. What do you want to teach them? What is Surah Al-Fatiha? What is your objective? At the end of the day, what do you want to do? What is my objective? Okay, so it is the heart of Salah, right? So maybe, and Amina's totally right, maybe you could draw a human being standing up, the stick man with a heart, a circle, and Surah Al-Fatiha in it. It'll never go. The image has to somewhere there. It is also known as Surah Al-Shifa, which you know that. There are many, many stories. If I pick one, and you may want to research into them as well, is about how a companion of the Prophet was denied to go into a city. So he was denied to go into the city, and then eventually the king was bitten. He was really bitten by a snake. So he tells his companion, I hear that Muhammad knows something from what his Lord has written to him, which was Shifa. So come in. He said, but all this time you've said no to us. All right, we'll come in provided you give us food. So he goes in, he recites Surah Al-Fatiha. Now, you may not want to use this with the children, but he recites it and on spit, because that's all the thing he has. And he rubs the spit. I wouldn't encourage children to put spit on their wounds, but you will say he recited it on water or something, or something that was liquid, so you're not lying either. And he put it on the wound, and the guy became better. Now that is so many stories. I'm just picking one of a snake bite. But you want them that when they are in pain, they put their hands on that place and recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Incidentally, if you recite Surah Al-Fatiha 40 times, makes a difference. Okay? It's just something. You want them to recite it before they go to school. You want them to recite it all the time, not only in Salah. You get? And there's so many amals. Here we go. Yep, Shafa, Salah, Sab'a Mathani. Okay, Fatim says she recites it to find parking. Yeah, they could, but if to recite Surah Al-Fatiha on a clay bowl, wash it with water and give it to people whose hearts are broken or you feel bad, works. So there are many things that you want them to stick in their head. I have a daughter who will turn 40 next year, and Zaida taught her how to pray. Even today, after so many years, I'm sorry I make you feel old, but even today, after so many years, when she prays and she puts her feet together, she says that's because of Zaida. So if you teach them something about Surah Al-Fatiha, every time they recite Surah Al-Fatiha in Salah, they will not forget. There you go. There you go. Opening the prayers or opening the book, it's a discussion that you could have with the children. And even, seriously, even if you only taught Surah Al-Fatiha for the whole of the term, really doesn't matter. You've taught them something that will live with them for life. You don't have to follow something and say, I've got to finish this. You don't. Take your time. And if they're getting bored, go to something else and then come back to it again. Okay? All right. Your introduction. You've got it on the building. It's not on there at the moment now. But the building said 3 things. Who is Allah? So maybe I tell children you're going shopping and you want to look for a God. So you're looking for those 4 things. Can you tell me? Rabb? Come on. The 4 things about Allah in Surah Al-Fatiha. Rabb, Rahman, Rahim, and Malik. And then you'll go back to your bookmark, which hopefully you will give them, and you'll go through each of the Asma al-Husna. Because to say Ya Rabbi, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Malik, and go through all those things that are of benefit, you've taught them something. So every time they recite Surah Al-Fatiha in Salah, they will remember Rabb, Rahman, Rahim, and Malik. And then obviously you're saying Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. And everywhere there's a na. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Na, us. And then the importance of community, and you can bring the whole community in. You could do it a little at a time. You don't have to finish everything in a day. And then finally there's a reply from divinity. Follow those whom I have blessed. And you say, well, who are they? There you go. Just call her into your class. Stop her from going home at 11:30 and let her talk, okay? And finally, the last bit is the reply from divinity. Who has he blessed? Read the rest of the Quran. So you want them to be able to engage with the Quran, okay? You've got begin with a story about the surah or its focus. Hopefully you will have already got a surah, or you will put a surah itself. But if it's not going on in your head and it's not going on in your heart, it's not going to reach theirs. You've got to be totally invested in Surah Al-Fatiha. Lesson and the theme, obviously, whatever days you're doing it. Practical activities. I don't know whether you want a blank building to be filled in. Ask us. We can give you a blank building. You can make one. I know Fatim Ladak made one out of boxes. Like the buildings, as in, like Amina said, you start with the names of Allah, you go into Mi'raj, and then you've got an answer from divinity. It's up to you how you do it. You could do it with popsicle sticks. Whatever you want, but make it interesting, right? How will you assess them? Please don't give them a test. That's not going to work. Okay? Yeah, open book something, or multiple choice, or whatever you want to do, but something that will tell you, not testing them, but finding out whether you taught the subject properly or not. It's got nothing to do with the children. When a child doesn't do well, and you say, well, this child didn't do well, it's not a reflection on them, it's a reflection on you. Especially when this is not secular work. This is the works of the heart, okay? And finally, a conclusion, to always end with Surah Al-Fatiha, and always begin with Surah Al-Fatiha. You have the Lord's Prayer that people recite before they eat and before they end. To put that as a habit into the children, before a lesson, Surah Al-Fatiha, and at the end of a lesson. Because otherwise they think, the moment you say Surah Al-Fatiha, they think either somebody's died, or they think you're going to get Fatiha. Now, it was actually tabarruk, so you can talk to them about it. Our ancestors are very smart. They called it Fatiha, the food, because you would not eat it before reading Surah Al-Fatiha. They were very smart. So the moment somebody said, Fatiha Malse, you've got to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. And I think it's important that is drummed into them. It's like it doesn't come out. So every time they see food, whether it is Fatiha, inverted brackets, or normal food, they would recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Are you good with that? I'm only talking about one surah of the Quran. I haven't moved anywhere yet. Comfortable? Okay. Fatim, can we go to the short focuses for a minute? So you've got 13 weeks, okay? Okay, you've got 13 weeks. In my mind, 1 a week, just to focus, nothing else. So let's go back to 1 to 10, okay? There you go. Yeah, the middle one is missing, but 11 to whatever is missing, is it? So it doesn't matter, I'll just go 1 to 10. So if you go to 1 to 10, the moment you say Fatiha, they should know summary of the Quran. The moment you say Baqarah, they should know history of faith. The moment you say Al Imran, they should know that this is talking about how to establish a Muslim identity. The moment you say Nisa and women, you say the manifestation of the Muslim identity is how you treat women. So that society will treat its women really with a lot of respect. The moment you say Ma'idah, they would know perfection of religion. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. The moment they say An'am, you will know that they made up, I know it has practical implications of Tawheed, but basically they made up rules to suit themselves on who should eat what and who should not eat anything. A'raf, and you can see them, rejecting divine guidance. Anfal gives you the characteristics of believers. Tawbah tells you hypocrisy is exposed. And Yunus says it's never too late. So if you did that in 13 weeks, and every week you repeated it, you know, like on the second week I'd repeat 1 and 2, on the third 1, 2, and 3. Incidentally, that's how Ayatollah Bahajat taught. And on the 13th week you'd repeat 1, 2, 13. At least they know 13 focuses. Just tiny, 1 line. Khalas. No more. Are you good? These are just suggestions. You may use them, you may not use them. Okay? All right, now the cross-curricular one. Fatim, can we go to cross-curricular? So if we go to the 11 Ps, that slide that you have with the 11 Ps, you've got them on your phone. You've got the 11 Ps, that one. And like I said, for the children, my suggestion would be that for themselves, they would have peace, protection, and prayers, because those are the 3 you want to focus on. They would focus on their parents, the importance of parents, and the importance of people, which is a community. Now you've got the du'as of Ibrahim. On your phone, you have them, you know, for example, for prayers and people, you have Rabbana waj'alna muslimayni laka wa min dhurriyyatina ummatan muslimatan lak wa arina manasikana wa tub alayna innaka antat tawwabur rahim. That's 2, 1 to 8. For peace and protection, you have Rabbi ij'al hadha al-balada aminan. You know, when you ask for security for Makkah, that's 1435. For protection, it's 1436. Fatim's putting them on so you can see them. Parents. رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ. Even if you taught 1, that's fine. رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي, protection for me, وَلِوَالِدَيَّ, and my parents, and وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and people, يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ. So every time they say رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي, they think of themselves. They think of walidayya, they think of their parents. And when they think of mu'mineen, they think of their community. Khalas, you've done 3 together in 1 dua. And even if they know 1441, and that's what I tell the children, raise your hand, you don't know the dua, say, Ya Allah, 1441. He knows the number, by the way. Are you good? And it's quite easy because 1441 is a reversal. You have 14 and then 41 is reversed. And I know you will remember it. So I know when you pray Zohar, you're going to say 1441. If you don't say Rabbana ighfir li wa liwalidayya wa lil mu'minina yawma yaqumul hisab. That it's basically those little things, that passion that you have that will translate into them. Are you good? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. You know, I was going to ask you to fill one of these, but I'll leave it. It's up to you. You can have a look later and see how you go on from there. Okay? All right, now the next thing is the navigation of the resources on the website. And Fatim's been really good. She's prepared a video. Fatim, can you put that video on? And that video will actually take you through. Please watch it. Through it. So that's the front page. And as you go down, you will see all the different sections, right? So she's clicked on Quran City. You go on the 114 buildings of Quran City. This is Fatim's work, by the way. She's been phenomenal. So then there's your Surah Al-Fatiha. You've got listen to audio. got link to resources. So many times you call me and you say, I want a PowerPoint, I want this book. All you need to do is navigate the website. There's a search bar in there as well, which you can go to. So you have suggested schemes of work for so many weeks for Surah Al-Fatiha. You don't even have to tell me, how do I teach, what do I, it's all there. We've put it all on there. You see that? You've got worksheets, you've got questions, you've got everything on there. Yeah, so everything to do with Surah Al-Fatiha will be on there, yeah? So just go back to the website. So we're going to Q School. This is where we need to go to. So in Q School, we've separated it into separate sections for each of the infants. It tells you about Q School. It's got the principles of Q School. You've got Quran recitation. And this is Sukaina who's devised all those. And you've got everything that we teach on there. I think the major problem is we don't go through the website. Just spend half an hour a day to go through it. And if you find mistakes, let us know. If you want something on there that you have as resources, let us know and we'll put it on. Because at the end of the day, it's all about sharing. We have a lot of madaris who use this. And most of the work is yours, it's not mine. It's your work that we've translated into something that is acceptable on the website and we've put it on. Whatever you've used as worksheets, we've translated it. The infant section, that is Zaida, Fatim, Abrar, and Sabrina, I think they've done a phenomenal job because this is all their work. All we've done is translate it. The person who's responsible for doing a lot of the PowerPoints has been Sabira Taki. She's now teaching in Zanzibar at the moment, but we used to send all the stuff to her, and then she used to make a PowerPoint out of it. And what you use now, this is Baqiyat Salihat for all of you. Okay, it's not mine, it's not anybody's, it's absolutely all of us. So when you fill in one of these and you send them to me, Amina is really good because she sends me her whiteboard, which is really messy, but when I get time, I can translate it into one of these and we put them up. Look, so many madrasas use this. So when you send me one, it doesn't just stay, it gets used. And please don't tell me I'm busy. We're all busy, we've all got kids, we've all got families, okay? I'm not looking at you. Amina, you heard that, didn't you? So Q School on the website, you've got this book. Everything is on there. But if, like me, you like a physical copy, just let us know. And we'll print it out for you if you can't print it. We'll get it done for you. That's not a problem at all. Are you comfortable? So that was part of your navigation through the website, okay? No, let them go through it. I think it helps to look at it. Because we need to go back to the learning outcomes in a minute. She's going to share the video on YouTube on your, it's not, well, yeah, she'll send it to you as a video. Can you see that? Yeah? And you can go through it. I'll try and talk through it at some point. But when I'm told I need a lesson plan, I look at this and I think they're all there. All you need to do is navigate the website, okay? And we're constantly adding more stuff because we've got so much. And it's all from you. Nothing, it's this combination of work that has been done at workshop that's put on it. So every section, your infant, juniors, and seniors is on there. Fatima, I think we're okay. Can we go to the learning outcomes now? Okay, so you have this on your tables, yes? You've got learning outcomes on there. Right. Let's go through them and see if you want to change. So 7 years, we've got 7, 11, and 14. So at 7 years, do you agree that a child should be able to recite the Quran? Is that a yes or a no or a maybe or a perhaps? Yes? Okay. Do you agree that they should learn the names of the surah and the key concept of the short surah that are recited in Salah? So if they were to recite Ikhlas or Falak or Nas or Kauthar or Asr, they should have some concept. The moment I think Asr, I should think time. The moment I think Kauthar, I think, a lot. Are you good with that? You're comfortable with that? And we'll leave it up to the young, the infant section to make out which surahs they want. We don't have to tell them. It's up to them. Then they should know basic usul. Tawheed Adala, Nabuwa Imama, and Qiyamah. And literally that's just basic. They should know their kalima and obviously the Asma al-Husna that can be applied in daily life. I think Zaida and Fatim and Abrar and Sabrina, I think you all do that anyway. So my only problem is I don't get too much feedback from you. And if you give it to us, we will put it on the website. Okay? All right. Know the names of the Ulul Azam prophets? Are you good with that? They know the story of Prophet Nuh, Prophet Adam, Prophet Musa, Isa. You good? Ibrahim, yeah. All right, know the names of the Masumin and an aspect from their lives. Now that hasn't been happening. There you go. So why can't we just do it as building blocks? Every year to go through basics again. I know when we have a majlis, then we will have to do something about it. Maybe I'll dig out something and we'll put it on. But I know when it comes to a majlis, if you ask somebody to read ziyarah, they all look the other way. Because they can't remember the names of the imams. Because all they have to say is, Assalamu alayka ya. That's it, khalas. You don't have to know the standard ziyarah. But they forget the names. In fact, they get mixed up with 9th, 10th, and 11th. I've noticed. So there is something that is predominantly not right if I believe in the Masumin. So I don't know how to do this. I will put on all the resources we have on the website or on your group, so you've got it. But you need to come up with something. You've got the children in front of you. So you need to come up with something. Sorry? But to me, it's not only the names. I should know one aspect of their lives. I should know that the 11th Imam, for example, put the structure of tafsir. For example, okay? I should know what the 6th Imam, I should know that his fiqh is why we're called Ja'fri. It's just one aspect. Are you comfortable with that? Maybe you could write it for me. Go for it. Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. So we already have a rhyme. A first Imam is Imam Ali. Fine. Are you good with that? You can hear it until it comes out of your ears until you do your own rhymes. Okay, great. It's a good one. Are you all right with that? We need it. We really do. And Amina is right. Not only for year 1 or year 2 or year 3, but throughout the range, the names of the Imams. And I think, Yasmin, you said that even we forget what this Imam did, right? I remember the wafat of, was it last week, Imam Hassan Askari. I've never had so much feedback. We didn't know this Imam did this. He lived for 28 years. But his life was phenomenal. It's just little things. Anyway. Yep. And through that, he wrote a tafsir book. Okay, know the Islamic months of the lunar calendar. I know you think you know them all. But it's good to know, if you put Muharram and Safar together, you know Rabiul Awwal is the month of the Prophet. Rabiul Akhir, Sayyidah Zainab or Sayyidah Fatima. Jamadul Awwal? Jamadul Akhir? Oh, thanks. Rajab? Sha'ban? Ramadan, we know. And then we know Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah is Asharul Hajj. But look, you all went quiet when I said Jamadul Awwal, Jamadul Akhir. What you going to put in it? Who will you put in Rabiul Awwal, Rabiul Akhir? And it should come straight up. I will put an image that we're using for Q calendar and you'll be able to see what should come first. Okay, hopefully. Tahara and wudu, you think that's important? Yes? Okay. Know the actions of salah and be able to recite a 3-rakat salah. I don't think that's too much to ask. And positive behavior. I don't think you can teach akhlaq in 3 hours. Not even in 3 hours. You don't even have 3 hours. You have one lesson. And you do cross-curricular in it. And even if you drummed it in, it won't make a difference. I'll give you an example so you remember it always. I used to teach akhlaq and write the books at madrasa. It's not a reflection on any madrasa at all, because I used to teach there many, many years ago. And I remember one day I had a big box of books and I was carrying it forward. And the girl who got first prize in akhlaq slammed the door in my face. Not even can I pick it up or can I help. Forget about that. Not even keep the door open. Now, you can't teach akhlaq. And many of these people who have been here for a long time will tell you, you can't teach it. All you can do is point out bits and pieces. That's it. How practical is from yourself. What you do will be transmitted there. But this TTC, I think you got to just drum it in. Truthful, trustworthy, compassionate. Sadiq, Amin, Rahmatul lil Alamin. I read it somewhere here. Be kind. Have you seen that? It says always be kind. It has hadith of Imam Ali. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay. It says you should smile. But anyway, TTC is not either or. It's everything. Okay. Okay. 11 years you're building on the above. Quran recitation with an understanding of the basic rules. So now you have tajweed coming in. If you don't know tajweed, you'll not be able to teach it. And incidentally, I'm sorry I bring this up. Sugan, are you here? But we have this major issue. Should we use Indo-Pak or, what is the other one? Osmani. Now, show me one hadith that says it is more sawab to use one, and I will move to it. But there isn't. Whatever you're comfortable with. Right? Now, great grandparents and parents as well have learnt on Indo-Pak. If you're going to send them Usmani, they don't know what to do. But if this is what the child is comfortable with, nothing I can say. But there is no hadith, and believe me, I've gone through everything, that says one script is better than another script. The only advantage is Usmani you get free. There you go. Indo-Pak. Indo-Pak. Can I ask you one question? Is it more thawab for Uthmani? Fine, great. I rest my case. Yeah, great. But until you know it, you can't teach it. So when you're talking to a parent and a grandparent, they don't know it unless we sit them down as well. So the child goes home, and I get this all the time. So the child goes home with the Ismani, and the grandparent or the parent has no idea where that shadda should be. So our job is to teach them how to read Quran. Then if they go to a teacher like you or they go further, they can do whatever they want. I find it hard in Usmani, but I try on both, keep one side by side. But it's really, really hard. So this thing goes on all the time, yeah.
Most of them are in the park, but there is one or two, and unfortunately I have to always correct it.
Yep. You have to know how to teach it and know the rules of tajweed. 90%, 99% of us are volunteers. And it's really hard unless you studied Quran, studied the rules of Quran. So let's teach them the right way to be able to read, and like you said, spoon feed them until they go to a teacher who is able to teach them Usmani if they want. So parents will come up with this all the time, and I always tell them, please find a teacher to be able to teach you Usmani. But we can't here. We really can't. It's really difficult. There you go. I rest my case. Right, takibat du'as, are you good with that? Just start with the small takibat du'as. Even if it is Ayatul Kursi, the tasbih of Sayyidah Fatimatul Zahra, it's something small. And then you go into the du'as and bring the takibat book and let them read it. Okay, continue to learn the names of the surah, key concepts, have a basic understanding of usul, some of the A99, learn the names of the prophets. Are you good with this? I'm just going over it. Anywhere, stop me, okay? Build on the knowledge of the Masumeen to include some additional stories, be able to recite salah properly, basic furu, including a knowledge of halal and haram. We're talking up to 11 years. Okay? Are you sure you wanted that? I think Sajida has now taken over the Salah side, and she does a phenomenal job. The ones where you used to take them out one at a time. I think, Sajida, let's talk about it. Because what we did is we used to have somebody take them out of the class and teach them. For Deen and the boys, we used to have that as well. In fact, we had Muhammad Bachu. He used to come and take one child out of the class and look at his wudu and his salah. And I don't think that's such a bad idea. Maybe we can go back to him and see what we can do. And we could do it for Shamim Panju. We'll have a chat, because if you're taking over salah, then we can ask Shamim Panju to come. When you are around in town, you could do that. When you don't go home to cook, you can do that. Okay, all right. Thank you. So why are you just talking? Stop cooking and start teaching, okay? There's no point in just telling, no. You just do it. Actions speak louder than words. So now don't tell me, don't go home. Yeah, 12 to 1, teach them. Okay. Well, she just says things. So do it again. Have to do it again, and she's here now. We still have them. We have a booklet where you can tick each bit. Are you all right with that? We're going to get this booklet printed and keep out so you can use them. You've got Amina, you've got Zinat. You can ask Muhammad Bachu or anybody else who's willing to come in and test them. Are you good? Sajida, are you good with that? Yes? Okay. Sajida's going to coordinate it and she's going to use you. We will cook for you. We will order biryani. Boss does some good biryani. Can you send it to her so she can feed her kids? Right, 14. Age 14, you got it? Be able to recite Quran and observe recitation rules. Be able to recite some short du'as. You told me this. Are you good with that? What short du'as are you talking about? Go to du'as. Fatim, can you change it to the other slide, please? Fatim? For 14 years, yeah. Sorry? Short du'as after namaz. Is that what you're talking about? But don't you want them to know a comprehensive place of du'as that they can go to when my head hurts, when my tooth hurts, du'a and du'a, when my leg hurts, when this hurts, when something's going wrong, when my heart is broken, when I'm not feeling good? Don't you think it's important? So we've got a book called Go to Du'as. We're doing another one, which they can go to, like better than Al-Kami, or the du'a given to Umm Salama, or anything for that matter. Or like him, or even like Imam Muhammad Baqir quotes his father telling him that when you're in trouble, recite Ya Ra'uf and Ya Rahim 100 times. The man who was nearly killed, and he remembered the Prophet saying, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, bihaqi bismillahir rahmanir rahim 100 times. I mean, things like that stay in a child's mind. So if you're telling me here, be able to recite some short du'as, what du'as? Make a list and teach them, because if you liked it, they will like it. Are you good? You have to do some work. You're all looking at me like I've gone nuts. Okay. Understand the key concept of surah, recited on a regular basis. I would suggest at 14 years to start to journal the Quran. You good with that? Right? Journaling the Quran. Be able to understand each of the usul and their importance, and to be able to implement all of the Asma al-Husna in their behavior. The Prophet said, Takhalluku bi akhlaqillah, adopt in yourself the akhlaq of Allah. I think it's not a bad idea to make sure all these are learnt. Now, they will not know them if you don't know them. If I gave you, Fatima, have you got a blank piece of paper for us for Asma al-Husna? Okay. So if I gave you that, without looking at your bookmarks, can you fill them in? Is that a yes or a no? All right, let me teach you, or let me help you in my way. Are you good with them? All right. First of all, the 3 R's. 1, 2, and 83. The 3 R's. Rahman, Rahim, and Rauf. Kind immediately, kind on a regular basis, and then so kind that it doesn't hurt. Dentist, dental hygienist, and anesthetist. Are you good? Rahman, Rahim, and Rauf. Put it in. 1, 2, 83. 1, 2, 83. Are you good with that? The 3 R's. What did I say? Dentist, hygienist, and anesthetist. Rauf makes sure that you don't hurt at all. You could put you to sleep. When you wake up, you might be a bit drowsy, but that's okay. Right. 4 F's. These are forgiveness, but they don't start with F. But they are 4 for forgiveness. Okay? Ghafar, Ghafur, Tawwab, and Afu. Okay? Ghafar, Ghafur, Tawwab, and Afu. Ghafar is easy. 14 Masumin. Ghafur is next door on your sheet. I don't have a sheet in front of me. But it should be next door is 34. Tawwab is 80. When you get to 80, you only start doing Tawbah a bit more. And just on top of Ra'uf is Afu, 82. He rubs out everything. Ghafar, he forgives again and again and again. Ghafur, he forgives that sin that is deep-rooted in you that nobody knows about, but it's really bugging you. Tawwab, 80, you turn back to him. Right? Tawwab. Afu, 82. I'm just giving you bits and pieces. Okay? Are you good? Afu, which you say in Salatul Layl, Afu, right? All right, now we're going to look at headquarters from which all of them start. H and Q. Hayyul Qayyum. 62 and 63. How do you remember it? 62 is Suratul Jumu'ah in your Quran, right? That is literally the headquarters of the whole week. So H is Hayy, 62 is Hayy, and Q is Qayyum, and it's 63. Are you good? Hayyul Qayyum, 62 and 63. Now we're going to go into was. W-A-S. Wahid, Ahad, Samad. These are all Ism Azam. Wahid, Ahad, Samad. Wahid is 66. 6 divided by 6 is 1. I mean, it's a dumb way to remember it, but it comes. 66, 67, 68. Wahid, Ahad, and Samad. Now, the reason why I did these generally, I've done it with every single one of these, but the only reason I'm doing this like this is that you know that if you want to teach your children, make that sheet, let them have one of those sheets and fill it in every week with a small thing and say, what were the 4 F's? What were the 3 R's? What was WAS? What was the headquarters? And then I tell them, what year were you born? Okay, and for that year, remember that Asma al-Husna. So I know, they were born in 2003, 2013, 2014. So say, for example, I was born in 1958, right? So if I'm looking at 58, can you see which one it is? It says Al-Mubdi, which means the beginner. And I will never forget Al-Mubdi because that's the year I was born. And then I look at my husband. He was born in 1956. I mean, it's Hamid, and I think, God, he is praiseworthy. But if you relate it to people you know, you relate it to your children, and you'll know their birth years, it will be easy. Ask them, when was your mommy born? And put a positive stance on it. When was your daddy born? When were you born? And then you put those in, and suddenly you've built up a whole whatever. Are you good with that? I'm not going to bore you, but I can do the whole thing with you with those little acronyms, yes. With that beautiful thing. Yes. We did one for Sumaya, I think, when she was young. She's now 30-something, 37. But we did a tune with Hush Little Asya, Don't You Cry. Mama will tell you 99. And that's how they learned. So Amina is right. Rhymes help as well. So we could put that on. You could do that individually for each child with their name, and they will listen to it every night. My grandchildren do that, and I know the difference it makes. Okay, are you good with this? Are you good with the way you will work? I know it's a lot to do, but children get bored if you talk about one subject at the same time for half an hour or 40 minutes. If you switch over, now bring out this paper and do with it, they'll learn. Are you good? God Almighty. Okay. All right. I'll give you one or two more so you understand, okay? Surah Yasin in the Quran is surah number 36. And Yasin is known as Qalbe Quran. What is 36 in here? Look it up. It's Ali. And he lives in your heart. So every time you see 36, you will put in Ali. Surah number 47 is Surah to Muhammad in the Quran. Can you see what Surah 47? Look in your cards. What is it? It's Al. Look it up. Look it in your card. What is 47 in here? It's on the front page, by the way. It should be Al Wadud. You know, the one with so much love. And you love the Prophet. So now you won't forget 36. You won't forget 47. 47 is Surah to Muhammad, right? So you're combining your Quran knowledge and you're combining your Asma'ul Husna. You know was. Do you know the 4 F's now? Do you know the 3 R's now? Oh, thank God for that. The last bit, the Prophet, Surah to Muhammad is 47. Here, number 47 is Wadud. Wadud is one who loves. The love of the Prophet is in everybody's heart. So it's just a methodology of remembrance that you may bring into the children and they will remember. I'll try and do one for each one of those because we've done one from 1 to 99. And that way you can help the kids and yourselves learn them. Are you good with that? I mean, Jannah would be pretty lonely, wouldn't it? If only you went. If only one of you went and you didn't take all of us. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you went and you were all alone, then what will you do? You'll cook for who? At least this way you will cook for all of us. So the only way is to make sure we all know these names, we all apply them, and it works much better. Are you good with that? Right. Okay, so that basically sort of finishes what we have to do. And is there any other business? Anything else you would like to say? Absolutely anything. Anything you need, anything you want to say, anything you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's not going to go anywhere. And then when you finish, I'll go over this. Go on. Chairs. Fatim and Sukaina, can I please have you here? Tables and chairs. I think we need to do all the things to do what you need for workshop. Whatever you need, we can put it on. We can order a whole batch. Boards, exercise books, any sort of material that you need, like pencils, whatever. The books that you need printed. If you have a look at your lesson plans, whatever you need printed, tell us, and we'll get them printed for you. You want them for the kids, let us know, and we'll get them done for you, okay? But if it's done at the last minute, it's quite hard. This way we can done it well before. There you go. Fardeen will do the boys, and Sajida will do the girls, okay? Is there anything else that you feel you need to say or do that will make life easier for you? We don't take them now. I actually say, unless the mother sits there or sends a helper in there, we refuse so many with special needs. Yeah. So if they don't tell us, then you'll have to bring them to the office, let them come and talk to me, I'll have the difficult conversations. But please bring them in to me with their parents. It's not fair on the child, it's not fair on the rest of the class. So it's best to say, unless you bring a carer in, or you come in yourself, we can't look after that child. So we had one child who came in, was allergic to silicone. So no balloons, no rubbers either. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. They nearly took us to court, but that's okay. Happens. You can't do it, you can't do it. You have to be really honest. Okay? All right. Are you all comfortable with that? What age, Sukaina, where are you? Fine, okay. Sukaina, are you here? Salah, what age does she take them from? From Balik? Salah. She'll take them all together.
Yeah, they're all coming from year 3 upwards, but you're taking them you're taking all the Bali ones. Yeah. And the non-Bali guys are not with their teachers, so they're all following you. But you think
Can we end with the Surah Al-Fatiha, please? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العظيم. Okay, so Fatim's going to share all the slides that need to be shared. Yasmin's class did a phenomenal job last year. They raised money for 2 wells in East Africa. We only needed to top it up by a little bit. Have you shared them? You've shared some pictures, haven't you? So she shared them on the website. Again, if you find for your class to do some charity, it's good for the children. We support MAP, which is those people who work Medical Aid Palestine. So if you want to help with those, we support some of the hospitals in Kuwait that have taken in children whose legs have been amputated. We have a couple here. I don't know whether they'll come to workshop. We'll see if we can bring them in. But any project that you think is important, just let me know for your class. You don't even have to let me know. Just do it, and I'll run it past the EC. Okay? All right, thanks. Any money collected at workshop on these premises has to go through the executive committee. It cannot be done to any private charity. Okay? So as long as you know that, then we're good. So it will go through them, and then I will send it over, or they will send it over, whatever the case might be.